Revise and project number 4. This is still about words. We're looking at the exact consumer language. And obviously, this is related entirely to what we were just looking at with reviews, but with a slightly different angle on it. Okay. So, consumer language, the exact language people use, has the power to connect. And it's very, very important that you reflect back the sort of language that your market uses. Now, you can't just take one review and assume that's going to represent everybody. But if the same kinds of bits of language turn up everywhere, then that is something you need to use because it probably will resonate with your target market. You can mine this for longer tail keywords, which are usually features. And this will help to rank for easy win sales. It's not going to get you big sales, but you might as well get them. Also, the consumer description of benefits is important. Exactly how they describe the results of using the product may not be the words you'd use. They're probably more natural, normal, less corporate feeling. And also how they criticize absolute benefits as well. So let's have a look at some examples of this using our favorite listing here, the arthritis bracelet. And again, the consumer language is in the reviews. So forget about all this stuff. Effective and natural, non-invasive pain relief. That's a rather sort of wordy, for example. That's typical of the sort of corporate language that we all fall into when we're describing products. And to a degree, we don't want to use completely bad grammar or anything, but we may want to tweak it towards more consumer language. For example, I was skeptical, but it works for me. I don't know exactly how you build that in. So, for example, you might say, skeptics have found, even skeptical people have found this highly effective. You got to be careful with medical claims. So, yeah, that's one I might be a bit careful with. Very nice shine. All 6 magnets in place. What do they say? It's light and it fits my wrist well. There you go. It's a simple bit of language, but fits your wrist well is a word you might use instead of perfectly anatomically shaped to be great for, something like that. Use simple language. I can feel a difference. Feel the difference. There you go. That's another word. I feel a real difference. Feel the difference. Something like that. That could be a starting point for a benefit. Didn't expect my bracelet to work. I was surprised if my X worked. The weight is not heavy. It has not turned my skin green. Okay, so will not turn your skin green. As long as you can actually follow up on that with reality, that could be a very simple way of wording a benefit. The copper is soft enough, it's easy to mold the bracelet to your arm. You know what? That sounds like a very simple benefit. And again, beautifully put. Notice a lot of the time, unless it's completely illiterate, and there are some very illiterate people, frankly, who write reviews on Amazon, let's be honest. But sometimes the consumers will put things in very simple words, which other consumers will get. And if you or I were shopping for a copper bracelet, we'd probably write something like this and we'd probably respond to it as well. It's just when we start selling stuff, we'd fall into this terrible corporate language thing very quickly and use words like effective and highly efficient. And these are not words that resonate. So anyway, you get the idea. It's very simple, but very powerful. Just do not ignore reviews. And really, I suppose I could have put this first and said this leads into benefits, but this is not quite the same thing as benefits. This is exactly how you put the language of benefits. So this is proper grown-up copywriting now. We're not just thinking about keywords. We're not just thinking about benefits, but we're thinking about the exact words and phraseology and tone of voice we're going to use to put them across. So that is when you start to really grow up as a marketer and do things properly. And I think there's still a way to go with a lot of people's listings there. So that's still a win that is available to you even in 2018 and beyond.